Have you ever wondered, what plants do pollinators like? How can I see more butterflies in my yard? Are honeybees the only bees? Is it true that beetles pollinate plants too? Or even, why are beetles so cute? Are bees good? Are bees bad? We've had some of those same questions too. We're the Seas Bees, a master's project group from the University of Michigan School for Environment and Sustainability. We're working together to raise awareness around pollinator-related issues and improve campus habitat for pollinators. Earthfest is virtual this year, but we're so excited to share our project with you. Let's meet the Seas Bees team.
Hey guys, I'm Penny, a third-year landscape architecture and conservation ecology student in SEAS. I love dogs and I fell in love with bees since this project. Nice seeing you here.
Hey guys, my name is Zoe. I am a second-year master's student with a concentration in behavior education and communication. When I'm not studying, I really enjoy exploring the outdoors, reading, and playing Ultimate Frisbee.
My name is Savannah DeLisi. I am a second-year graduate student at U of MC studying conservation ecology and environmental justice, and I'm super passionate about creating pollinator habitats that are healthy, protected, and sustainable.
Hey, I'm Rochelle Roque, and I'm a third-year master's student in the landscape architecture program.
Hi everybody, my name is Beth. I am a second-year master's student in conservation ecology at SEAS, and I love everything about bugs, and I hope that I can convince everyone else to as well.
Our project has three main research areas. 1. Enhance habitat for pollinators on campus by providing research-based recommendations. 2. Increased awareness, education, and celebration of achievements in regards to pollinators. And 3. Identification of a support network of partners on and off campus who can continue to support these pollinator efforts long-term.
These three research areas are an important part of our goal of getting U of M Bee Campus certified through the Xerces Society. This organization is the largest science-based organization dedicated to invertebrate conservation. They created the Bee City and Bee Campus USA initiatives to spread support for pollinator conservation across the country. You can see which cities and campuses are already certified here. A lot of people now have some sense of the importance of pollinators. You may have even heard that 1 out of every 3 bites of food that you eat is courtesy of insect pollination. It's true. And 90% of the world's wild plants depend on pollinators to reproduce. The science is increasingly clear that invertebrates, and pollinators in particular, are declining, and that maintaining pollinator-friendly habitat is key to their success. Pollination conservation can serve as a model for conservation of many organisms or services. This is because, when considering pollinators, site-to-landscape level planning is essential. At the same time, conservationists have to consider institutional challenges and the interests and values of multiple stakeholders. We'd like to give you a few tips on how you can improve your own pollinator habitat in your own backyard.
Tip number 1. Plant native. Native plants attract native pollinators. Many species of bees and butterflies have evolved to interact with a specific species of native plants. Planting native strengthens these pairwise interactions and allows for greater pollinator species richness.
Native plants are best for native pollinators. One of our goals is to improve existing pollinator habitat on campus by adding more native plantings. Today, we'd like to give you a quick tour of some of the pollinator habitat that you can already find right on campus.
Right here we have goldenrod. These really pretty yellow flowers, as you can see, attract all different types of pollinators, from bees, butterflies, to even wasps. Right here, these super pretty purple flowers are called ironweed. And as you can see, this fun fact, it's actually a bunch of tiny little flowers, as you can see right here, that make up this one big inflorescence. And then, oh, we got a little pollinator, isn't that cool?
A leafcutter bee.
The leafcutter bee. Alright, so now we've arrived right outside of the Natural History Museum and the Biological Science Building on my left over here. And let's come and check out, see what kind of blooming flowers we have right in here. Alright, so here we have a species from the sunflower genus. Notice how it has, like kind of a large landing pad right here. So pollinators can, especially butterflies, can just kind of like sit here, chill, eat dinner. Yeah. And right here we have some blue vervain. And it's part of the genus Vermina. And it is known for its long blooming period and its drought tolerance. So we have arrived at the Robert H. Murray Engineering Center, and we're here to continue our tour of plants on Michigan's campus. Follow me. Some wild geranium, and we got a black-eyed Susan, also known as Rudbeckia, genus type. We're gonna come up on some common yarrow, which has some really, really pretty small white flowers. And they have a little bit of a pinkish tint, if you can see, like, right there. Right here, we got some Joe Pyeweed, which is super attractive. All different types of pollinators. Butterflies love them. This little beetle right here really likes them. Hey guys, now we're at East Quad Community Garden looking for some more native plants. Right here we have the Anise hyssop. And one of the really cool things about this plant is that if you rub the leaves, it kind of has a bit of like a licoricey smell. So another common name for this plant is giant fragrant hyssop.
Tip number 2 is to remember that variety is the spice of life. If you're trying to attract pollinators, plant a variety of bloom colors, flower shapes, and species that bloom at different times of the season. The more diverse your garden is, the greater amount of pollinators it will attract. Many pollinators have evolved to be attracted to a certain flower color or have specific mouth shapes that work best with a particular flower shape. Different bees have a range of different tongue lengths. Bees with longer tongues might be attracted to flowers with more tubular shapes, while bees with shorter tongues might be attracted to large, flat flowers like golden alexander or wild carrot. The highest quality pollinator habitats have floral resources from early spring all the way into fall. Your choices are really endless. Tip number 3 is to delay your fall yard or garden cleanup. Native bees nest and overwinter in a variety of places. About 70% of bee species nest in the ground, while the other 30% nest in cavities in dead wood, branches, and plant stems. Other insects such as butterflies, moths, beetles, hoverflies, and queen bumblebees overwinter in leaf litter and under loose soils. Having these diverse, although sometimes unsightly features, can increase the likelihood of nesting and overwintering success for many different pollinators. If you leave these natural items in your yard or garden, you might be rewarded next season with even more pollinator visits. If you want to create even more nesting habitat for bees in your garden, and have it look pretty cool too, you could look into creating a bee hotel. This is the bee hotel in the East Quad Community Garden. The different shapes of materials that you can include in your bee hotel provide overwintering and nesting habitats for different species of bees. Just remember though that bee hotels do need to be cleaned out annually to prevent parasite and mite buildup inside of the slots. So much of the bug conservation buzz is about honeybees. It's true that honeybees are great pollinators, make honey, and are really cute. But did you know that there are 450 species of bees that are native to Michigan? Tip number 4 is to learn even more about native bees and all the other pollinating insects that could be in your region. There are bumblebees, sweat bees, leafcutter bees, carpenter bees, squash bees, cellophane bees, miner bees, mason bees, and more. And they all pollinate different flowers and add ecosystem value in different ways. And these are just the bees. By diving into the world of pollinators, you'll meet pollinating flies like hoverflies, pollinating beetles like goldenrod soldier beetles, amazing butterflies like swallowtails, skippers, and monarchs, and even pollinating wasps that are important too. There are so many native pollinators that you can observe and attract to your own yard. We hope that you're excited about native bee diversity and can share just how many bee and other pollinating insect species there are besides honeybees. We'll put a book list at the end of this video to give you some resources to get started.
Tip number 5. Lastly, we encourage you to reduce pesticide use in your gardens, as pesticides pose a great risk to the health of pollinators. Pesticides are harmful to pollinators in 2 main ways: through directly poisoning a pollinator's floral resources and by pollinators coming in contact with the chemical residue left by pesticides on leaves and in the surrounding soil. It is especially important to eliminate the use of systemic herbicides, as they can be incorporated into your plant's vascular system and adversely affect its nectar and floral resources for anywhere between a few months to a few years. The reasoning behind pesticide use often is to maintain the aesthetics of herbaceous plants in the landscape, but many problem pests that cause this damage can be controlled with a healthy population of beneficial insects. Also, much of the damage done by these pests is purely cosmetic and doesn't adversely affect your plant's biology.
We hope that you enjoyed learning about our project and visiting some campus pollinator habitat, and that you can use our 5 tips to create or improve your own pollinator garden. We also encourage you to check out a survey that we created. With it, you can test the pollinator potential of the habitat in your own backyard. The link to our survey can be found in this video's description. It's a lot of fun, especially in your own yard. We'd also like to give a very special thanks to U of M Ground Services, who continually use all 5 of these tips to improve pollinator habitat on U of M's campus. Our project definitely couldn't be done without you, and it's been so wonderful to work with you. We challenge you to critically think about how you can become better stewards of pollinator conservation. I promise that you'll be so amazed by everything that pollinators do.